You guys had a lot of thoughts about my build. Like, check this out. 263 comments on the first 2,000 views. Like, that's a lot of comments for that many views. And thank you guys. It's awesome to get the feedback. For the most part, people were like, yay, 10,000 subs. Good job, man. I'm like, yeah, and check it out. We got like 300 more today. Uh, I guess people are really into my, like, I switched to AMD video. Anyway, so cool. Awesome on the subs. Now, reading through these comments, and I actually did read all the comments. I didn't have a chance to reply to them because there's, 200 and something of them. But there was so many thoughts. I'll summarize much of them. Let's hop over into my PC part picker build that I had. And away we'll go. So I'll talk to you about things. First of all, some people criticize the 5950 because I'm going to be buying this and then the 12th gen Intel will come out. And then, oh no. So, okay. Like, I don't think you're necessarily wrong because 12th gen Intel is right around the corner. But there's always the issue in buying a PC, which is there's always better components coming out soon. Now, right now it is actually like really soon. But what's the worst thing that's going to happen? The 5950X will drop $100, maybe $200 in price. I don't think we'll see it go down much more than that. And I'll get to use this in the meantime. Also, I have concerns about if I waited an entire month delaying all of this, I don't get to use it to produce my content. I don't get to make content about it. So I'm actually losing money if I just wait and delay this. And then not only that, but I don't know if I'll be able to get my hands on a 12th gen Intel. Or, I don't know what will, if the motherboards are going to be stupidly expensive or even good. I have questions about DDR5, and sure, maybe that would all be good content to make, but I also want this PC actually, like, in my hands usable to produce videos. So that's another thing I'm concerned about. And the thing about the 5950X is it's fantastic for absolutely anything I want it to do right now. And it's not going to change if another CPU comes out and is a little bit faster. This will still completely do everything I need it to do. And the worst thing is, like, if I had waited a month, it'll be a little bit cheaper. Or I could have got something slightly better for the same price. That's just not the end of the world. And that's how buying PCs components just always is. So I'm not worried about that. Most people thought, great choice, awesome. If it was just straight up gaming, no, I don't need this. This is because I'm also going to be producing content, like video editing with DaVinci Resolve can use lots of cores, all of that. Okay, the cooler, most people were like, yeah, awesome. Some people were like, just use an air cooler. There's less risk of water, all of that. Some people had different choices on which cooler to go with. I researched it some more, and I'm even more confident that this is a fantastic cooler, and I want to use an AIO just because I never have before, and so I'm going to. The motherboard. So some people pointed out that the older ones have the chipset fans, and the X570S doesn't have a chipset fan, so that could be like a noise issue. And I am concerned about noise, but I don't think it's going to be all that noisy of a fan. If I'm wrong, oh well. The other thing is, okay, X570S, if I actually do that, the cheapest one that I can find here is an extra $90. And sure, it has Wi-Fi, but I don't want or need Wi-Fi. And if I did in the future, I can just get an adapter for that if I really needed to. Why not go with the B550? In the future, I might want multiple Gen 4 SSDs. And this had the X570 platform is better for that. So, and then why don't I buy a better and spend more on a better X570? Well, I'm not planning on doing a lot of overclocking. For me, the stability of the system is more important than getting a few more percent of performance, especially if I'm using it to produce content. So because of that, I don't want to overspend on a motherboard. So once again, if I just go with, I want an X570, and then I sort price high to low, low to high, I rejected most of the cheaper ones, not honestly because I'm afraid of using an even cheaper motherboard, because like I said, I'm not that concerned about the overclocking potential, but because I actually wanted the USB Type-C header that the case supports. And so this was the cheapest one that has that. I did look up some more reviews of the board, and it seems fine. Obviously, there's better ones out there, but the thing about this build, guys, is this is not an unlimited budget build. It's not, okay? Not at all. So it's not, it's an already over budget when I started it build. So yes, I do want to buy really high-end stuff, but I don't want to just spend more money without really getting anything I care much about in return. Also, this motherboard is going to look good with an all-black theme, which is kind of, I want no or limited RGB and black. That's what I'm going for here as far as the aesthetics go. Now, you'll notice here that this is changed from my original build here. So this is adjusting up to CL16 timings, and I went with Crucial Ballistics. There were so many comments about the memory and the timings and all of that. So some people think I should still get 64 gigabytes, and I don't think you're necessarily wrong. It's just a lot more expensive, okay? But I'm willing to tighten up the timings a little bit to CL16. Now, if you remember, this is $40 more than the CL18 memory that I had in the original video, but I'm honestly not sure it's really worth it because I'm not, look, okay, my thoughts on all the RAM time. You can get so far into the weeds on RAM overclocking and timings. And if you are really into overclocking, just for the sake of overclocking, it's totally worth it and fun. But if I'm playing games at 4K, I'm GPU bottlenecked, and the RAM timings aren't going to help me. And if I'm video editing, the RAM matters a little bit, but the actual amount that would matter in my user experience and my render times is so small that it doesn't really matter. But since I think the most popular thing to comment about was don't get CL18, fine, I'll spend the extra $40 for you guys. Also, people really seem to be a fan of Crucial Ballistics, and also I just like the look of it better, like for my all black kind of build. That's gonna match perfectly with what I'm trying to do. So we'll spend the extra $40 and get that Crucial Ballistics CL16. Happy now? Okay. Maybe I'll get another 32 matching gigabytes later if I feel like I need the 64. Okay, I killed the storage. I'm just gonna port over my old SSD. A lot of people talked about the Gen 4 SSD being overkill, and I agree. It's gone now. I'm just gonna use my old Gen 3. It's a 970 Pro from Samsung. It's great. I'll get a Gen 4 drive when or if direct storage actually ends up mattering much. Because for everyday use, the Gen 3 drive is gonna be everything I need and more. So that cuts some money off of my already over budget build. And the video card, some people weren't clear about this. Yeah, I'm using my 6800 XT that I already have. I'll probably upgrade it in the future when there's a new series of GPUs to review. But for now, definitely still using that. My case, this was the other, actually this one, I don't know if it was the memory or if it was the case that was the most popular comment, but everybody says I should get the Meshify too. But I'm not going to. I'm sticking with my case. Also, some people seem to be misunderstanding. This is not a solid front panel. That is a removable front panel. You can have the mesh front, okay? This case has really good cooling. And yes, you can look up reviews of it. It has very good cooling. I didn't pick this case randomly. I know that this is a good case. You can take that off. One reason you might want to put it on is to reduce noise. And if I have a microphone very close to a PC, sometimes I'd actually rather it suffer the cooling a little bit to keep down fan noise going into the microphone. So there are reasons why I might actually want that, but I didn't really explain that in the video last time. So there you go. Now I explained it. I want this case. The Fractal Design Meshify 2 is fantastic. There's things that I like aesthetically better about this one. So I'm gonna get it. Okay, and they're both really good cases. You guys are not wrong. A lot of people also like the 011D from Lian Li. And yeah, that's a great case too. There's a lot of good cases out there. This is one of them. I promise it is, and I'm getting it. Also, a lot of people are like, Superflower? What even is that? Superflower is a fantastic power supply brand. So allow me to educate you slightly. You don't always have to buy a Seasonic power supply. Now, I understand there's so many different power supplies out there, and it's absolutely correct to be scared of buying a bad power supply because you do not want to do that and fry your PC. It's just not worth it. But I promise that even if you haven't heard of Superflower, they are good. They manufacture a lot of the really good power supplies that then get other name brands stuck on top of them. The EVGA power supply in my current build that I'm looking at right here is manufactured by Superflower. And it's one of EVGA's best and like most well-reviewed units they ever had. Okay, this is an interesting tier list that could be useful to you if you're not sure if a power supply is good. This, I know it's Linus Tech Tips. This is their forum. This is not published by Linus Tech Tips. And this is a extremely extensive PSU tier list. And I believe they put this together by looking up actual professional reviews of these power supplies, not just like random user reviews or reading the stats. And under their Tier A recommended for high-end systems, they have things listed by alphabetical order. So you can find the name brand and then the different model numbers. And then the color codings here mean all sorts of things like best units in the tier, all that sort of thing, okay? Small form factor, whatnot. So this is extremely useful. And if you scroll down, we will find Superflower in the top tier, Tier A, recommended for high-end builds, and specifically the LEDX and the LEDX 3 Gold, okay? LEDX 3 Gold in various forms is up here in this list. And if you find actual reviews of it, it is a very good power supply. Okay, so now other people were saying 850 watts isn't enough. So they weren't concerned about the brand. They were concerned about, I need 1,000 watts. No, I don't. Okay, want more explanation than that? Yeah. Okay. The Ryzen processor and all of these components are going to be pulling less than 300 watts. And my GPU will pull less than 400 watts. And it doesn't take a math teacher to know that 400 plus 300 is less than 850. And yes, I understand that you don't want to be running it at constant max load all the time, but that's not the max load. And those numbers I was giving you were already over estimates. For example, PC Part Picker is saying that everything I have in this build right now is estimated at around 219 watts. There's also other power rating websites you can check out and things like that. But the point is, I think 850 watts is not only enough, it's actually enough overkill that yes, even if the next generation of GPUs draws like 100 more watts than our already ridiculous power supplies requirements on the current high-end GPUs, I still think 850 is fine. Honestly, guys, I'm running the 6800 XT on a 650 watt power supply right now with absolutely zero problems whatsoever. 650 watt, that's manufactured by Superflower. Anyway, okay. All right, guys. So, did you guys change anything about my build with all your comments? Actually, yes, I did. I did change my RAM for you. Thank you. And I got rid of the Gen 4 storage because I was convinced that I was overpaying on something that I didn't really need there. I'll just continue to use my 970 Pro. So, this has actually reduced the price because of just reusing my storage. And that has, so I've built in that extra $40 for the extra RAM here, despite doing that. Killing the storage has saved my price here. So we're at $1531.95. And I think I'm gonna buy this thing. I might not buy it tonight. I might wait for tomorrow. So if you have more thoughts on the build, if you really like, no, it's a disaster, change it. Well, tell me in the comments section, and you might get there in time to save me. But I think this is a solid build for video editing, and then we'll also crush gaming with my 6800 XT slotted in there. I hope all of you guys have an excellent day.